but you probably all know my face from the emails anyway. So I'm Tracey, and I head up the Lendwithcare team and have done ever since we started back in 2010. Nancy is our senior microfinance advisor. She's going to talk in a minute. Ollie is our our cameraman, but actually his official job is everything website related. So Ollie actually built Lendwithcare right back in 2008, its first iteration. We started kind of scoping it out together. Pilar is standing at the back. Pilar is our microfinance advisor and works closely with Nancy and the partners. Anouk is over there. Anouk does all kind of marketing and everything related to getting those entrepreneur profiles on the website. So she coordinates lots of volunteers to help edit those. And I think
Tony's not here.
Yeah, so there's also Tony, who sent the email out. Tony's responsible for all of the Lendwithcare marketing, and Mhonie, who's was seeing you in, is our finance officer. So that is the Lendwithcare team. There's seven of us, including me. And I just want to introduce SolarAid. So Richard is the fundraising director from SolarAid in the UK. Richard's going to talk in a minute. And Emily also works for SolarAid UK and is kind of partnerships manager. And Brave, you're going to hear, Brave's our star speaker today. You're going to hear from Brave in a minute about their work in Malawi. So over to you, Nancy.
Poor Brave, lots of pressure, but he is amazing. And he is incredible, and we're really pleased that he could join us and that you all came at very short notice to come and hear about the quite unique partnership between Lendwithcare and SolarAid. But just briefly, I'm sure you're all quite familiar with Lendwithcare, but certainly I know you will have all made a loan to one of the entrepreneurs or group of entrepreneurs that you see featured on the website. But actually behind that, if you weren't aware, is a kind of network of partners. So these are local organisations, mostly microfinance institutions, so financial institutions who are focused on serving low income or hard to reach communities with financial services. But we also have partners who are not microfinance institutions, such as SolarAid, and we have ones that are cooperatives or social enterprises or even NGOs. But all of those local partners are in the country, who are the ones going to the communities, understanding what their needs are in terms of finances, financial services, and they're the ones kind of working with those people, making sure they have access to affordable, appropriate financial services. So really, it's those local partners that are the ones that we work together with really closely to make sure that we are, providing those services that are really going to make the biggest impact, both in terms of business and economic growth, but also household and financial health impacts. So my role on Lendwithcare with my colleague Pilar is to select those partners. So we look for potential partners, we conduct assessments on them, whether we think their objectives are aligned with us at Lendwithcare and Care. And understand how well they're run, because obviously we want to make sure that your money is being used appropriately, carefully, and although we are all willing to take some more risk because we want to reach those customers who are not being served by commercial financial institutions, we don't want it, obviously we need to be lending responsibly. So we need to make sure that it's being used well, that it's fair, that it's transparent and it's affordable. So that's my role, looking for those partners and then kind of managing the ongoing relationship and providing some support in order to try and make them as strong as possible, and also to help to demonstrate our impact together. But partnership is really key. We currently have 18 partners in 14 different countries. We actually have 3, you may or may not know, in Malawi, and SolarAid is one of those partners. And we started the partnership with SolarAid UK back in 2019, and it's quite, as you'll learn today, it's quite different. It's been a different partnership and relationship for us at Lendwithcare, because they're not a microfinance institution, and the core business, I think is probably right to say, is not lending. It's obviously distributing solar lights and reaching communities that are living in the dark, essentially, who are off-grid and don't have access to basic light. And the team very quickly, they have a social enterprise in Malawi called SunnyMoney, And the team very quickly realised that while their distribution is obviously key in getting products that are of high quality and affordable is important, they needed a network of entrepreneurs actually who would be able to reach those communities that are hard to reach and really living without access to light. And they came to us with this challenge because the entrepreneurs that were working with them to distribute the lights needed money. They needed money to buy those lights, or to be able to borrow the asset to then sell in their communities. And this is where we formed our relationship, and where our lenders come in. So when you're giving or lending to a solar entrepreneur in Malawi, what that money does is buys the stock of lights that those entrepreneurs, primarily groups of women we're working with, they take that stock as a loan and then pay it back. When they sold the loans, they pay back in cash back to the local partner. So it's quite a different model, but I think you'll agree a really important one, both in terms of helping women set up income generating activities. This is really a business, and SunnyMoney is really trying to work with these women and other solo entrepreneurs to really set up a viable income generating activity for them, whilst at the same time obviously meeting the needs of communities that don't have access to light. So we're really pleased that we have been working together for so long. So 2019 when we started, and we've now, well, when I say we, you, our lenders, have now lent over $500,000 to I think around 2,300 solo entrepreneurs in Malawi. So it's a fantastic achievement, and we want to just carry on doing more. So thank you very much, and thanks again for coming today.
Hi, well, I just wanted to say a few words on behalf of SolarAid and Nancy and Tracey. We love the collaboration with Lendwithcare, so firstly, thank you very much for that. And what's great is we know that there's a sort of shared interest. We have SolarAid supporters who also like to get involved with Lendwithcare, and I'm delighted to see that Antonia's here with her family as well. So it's great that we've got that sort of collaboration elsewhere, and if you've not come across SolarAid before, I hope you learn a little bit more about us today. Thank you to you for your loans and for helping the extraordinary people, especially the women that you'll see that we sort of help and support to build their businesses, that Brave will talk to you about. This morning, when you woke up on a December morning, what did you do? Well, probably the first thing you did is turn on a light, I bet. If not, checked your mobile phone was fully charged. And the sort of things that I think we take for granted, but you soon realise how much electricity has such a huge impact on everybody's lives. And yet across half of Africa, half the population of Africa do not have access to electricity. That's 600 million people, which is just astonishing in this day and age, isn't it? It really is. What's more is the projections by the end of the decade is 500 million will still not have access to electricity by the end of the decade. And we think that's an outrage, because we do believe that the solution exists. And it's not even about handouts, it's about empowering people to give access to these amazing products. So even though we're a charity, we realise that we don't give products away, we encourage people to buy them or empower people to sell them. And we've learned that this works faster and it's much more sustainable. And it treats people as customers rather than beneficiaries of aid. So if a product breaks, they have the right to have it replaced or a warranty and so on. It actually spreads faster. Of course, those are numbers I've shared with you, and these are real people, and you're going to learn about some really special people when Brave talks. If you've enjoyed this afternoon, I also wanted to make you aware Antonia has written a little storybook called The Magic Suncatcher, which we love, and we sometimes provide schools. So if you want something to give to either grandchildren or children, we've got some to give away today as a little reminder of your time here. So finally, I want to introduce Brave Mhonie. I'm not going to steal his thunder. He's going to tell his own extraordinary story. It really is quite remarkable. Oh gosh, I get emotional just thinking about his own story. Not only is our country manager for Malawi, he's now president of the Rural Energy Industries Association of the whole of Malawi. I've always found you need to fire this man up to get the best out of him. So please, would you give a very warm welcome to Brave Mhonie.
Zikomo kwambiri. For those of you who've been in Malawi, I hope we know what Zikomo kwambiri means. It means, yeah, a big thank you very much, actually. Yeah, so thank you very much for having me here this afternoon. And thank you very much for quite a warm introduction. Actually, I don't even know what to say now because my presentation has been preempted by Nancy and Richard. So yeah, that also shows how much we work together and how much we know about the work that we are doing, and yeah, connection between the two organizations. So this afternoon, I will share with you three things. I will share with you about the problem that exists, and it's that problem that has brought all of us in this room today. I will share with you about my personal commitment to taking an active role in resolving that problem. And finally, it's about challenging each other, that we need to do more because together we can achieve great things. So beginning with my own journey to get to where I am today, 2008, I was working as a volunteer for a youth group called Ongweru, just coming from secondary school. So of course I had to keep myself busy. That's why I joined the youth group as a volunteer. I was chairing that group. When I was in school, my desire, commitment, and ambition was to become a medical doctor, because I grew up seeing my friends, relatives, community members struggling in different aspects. And some of those things were just simply because they couldn't get a proper treatment, either at the hospital or from their family members or neighbors. So I thought by making myself a medical doctor, I'll be readily available to help where I can. It's something which is in me, it's my DNA. So I really worked hard in secondary school, primary school, to achieve that dream. 2008, of course, after school, I got an offer to join a medical school, Malawi College of Health Sciences, to start studying biomedical sciences, which was a pathway for me to become a medical doctor. So I had that offer. It was just a matter of time that I needed to go back to school. In the course of digesting the success of getting the offer, helping my community through a youth group as the chairperson, these things kind of exposed me to a number of opportunities happening around the community, and one of it was the opportunity of providing educational support to the rural communities by building school blocks. So the problem was not just about providing lighting or providing education, it's about the tools needed to create a better life. I think for me, that's where it all centered. That's where the problem really was. How can we create a better community? Because having that vision myself of becoming a doctor, I needed to work hard at school to read at night. And what did I use at night to read? Simple things like this, right? Kerosene lamps. And growing up, realizing that, okay, kerosene lamps still exist somewhere where the majority, the millions of learners, children, are using them. So I was one of it. So basically, all these interactions from school and other community, it made me to really, really take time to think hard about the problem. Darkness. My community was in darkness. So many children were in darkness. Coming at night to to light up, they had to find a way to light up frame. So using fire to light up homes. This problem still exists today. Millions of learners, children, babies are still in this problem. Connecting it to my personal journey of becoming a medical doctor, if you look at that light, there are fumes coming out of it. Those are the carbons. Those who are burning fossil fuel, who are burning kerosene. And I remember those mornings when I would wake up, poking in my nose, and literally getting out of it black stuff. This is the soot, the waste, the carbons, right? Now, how many people are breathing these carbons still today? Millions. How many people need to come out of this problem today? Millions. Who is going to do that? Because the majority of them are trapped in the vicious circle of poverty, where it's not just about giving a light, it's about breaking so many barriers that are contributing to that poverty, which is leaving them into that problem. And luckily enough, I met SolarAid. SolarAid came to Malawi to set up operations solely focusing on eliminating a kerosene lamp with a solar light, so that people would no longer light up their homes in the dark. I met a volunteer, David Giludi from Ireland, who then joined us in one of the field trips to take part in these community activities, at the same time try to introduce a solution. So on that day when he visited the community with us, he brought with him a solution, which I'll share with you at some point. And after we finished our work, when we were heading back, he asked me a question. He said, Brave, so you have built this school block, fantastic. Learners will come and study during the day, fantastic. But when they go home, how will they do their homework? How will they read at night? What will they use to light up their homes? I said, some will use candles, others will use kerosene lamps. Maybe those who don't have money to afford both of these, they will have to use literally glass. That question really sparked me. It took me to the offer which was in my hand to go to a medical school. The reason why I want to go to a medical school was to help in treating problems. But having that chat with Dave Gilodi and really reflecting on the solution that we had at that time made me realize probably there's something in here. Maybe I don't have to go and become a doctor because the country is already producing so many doctors every year. But this problem, this is the source of those healthy problems that someone is treating on the table. What if I really focus my work in making sure that no single person on earth uses fossil fuel to provide basic energy access for lighting? So that flipped my mind. And I started getting deeper into the solution that Dave shared with us, which was a simple solar panel like that, an LED bulb, and a battery pack. Combining these three components would create light that would eliminate the use of kerosene from millions of homes. So we partnered officially, the SolarAid and Ungweri Youth Group that I was chairing, to start producing these products locally. SolarAid was assisting to import the components. The youth group were assembling them and then creating other youth groups to become distribution and sales networks, then creating a simple business. We have captured a little bit of that story in a video, which I would like to share with you if you'd like to see a 20-year, probably 19-year-old Brave. Are you happy with that? Yeah. All right. This panel has two grips, positive and negative. So just connect positive on the positive side and negative on the negative side of the panel. So you can see the screen right. These materials are being brought by SolarAid. Those guys for SolarAid bring materials to us, we assemble them and we sell them. We make our own business. So after that, I realized, I think my journey lies somewhere. So I went back to the school, that's the college, and he dropped the offer letter, said, I'm not coming here, I've got some work to do, which is still very emotional for me because maybe I could be somewhere by now, but I'm here. I'm not regretting it at all. Actually, I'm enjoying it because the solution is much, much bigger. Now, to distribute those products, giving out for free doesn't help. And the DNA of SolarAid is we don't believe in aid because aid has got a very short lifespan. If we want to eliminate those kerosene lamps forever, it has to be a self-sustaining model. So the money that we are raising today should create an enabling environment, should create a foundation, should accelerate, and should provide the resources that the entrepreneurs need to succeed and build on legacy which can outlive their lives so that it can save the future generations to come. That's why SunnyMoney was born as a social enterprise which is owned by SolarAid, purely working with local entrepreneurs, helping them to catalyze the market, educating the community about solar technology, and creating the demand so that the local entrepreneurs can sell even in the hardest markets without obstacles. So that's why SunnyMoney was formed. So SolarAid is raising resources, SunnyMoney is deploying those resources efficiently where it is needed most, with a sole focus on sustainability and growth. Why do we need these solutions? We need these solutions because it means mothers can give birth in quality light. Even a simple light like this one can save a mother's life. We're talking of mothers out there in health facilities giving birth either on a candle or literally on the light from the phone. A midwife, this is the reality. A midwife holding a phone or helping a mother to give birth. We have lost lives simply because we don't have the right tools to save. A simple tool like proper light. So when we're talking about lights, it's not just about a light, it's about a tool of safe motherhood. We're talking about creating a business opportunity, enabling entrepreneurs to keep their shops on for longer. That means the shop owners being able to trade late at night, extending their working hours, increasing their productivity. That's where success comes from. It's about your productivity. It's about your output. So we don't need to cut short of their productivity simply because it is done. We're talking about providing quality education, especially to girls. Statistics shows that in Malawi, we have got more boys who are educated than girls. Not because girls don't have the capacity, but because their opportunities are limited. Sometimes schools try to put in efforts of providing lighting in the classrooms to enable children to come at night and read. But girls are so prone to so many challenges, sexual abuse and all that, such that these opportunities that the school communities try to put in place, they don't benefit from them because it's just too dangerous for them. If you bring a light in their home, they don't have to walk at night just to read somewhere. They can study right away in their respective homes. That brings dignity, safety, and all that stuff. And most importantly, creating opportunity for them to really succeed in their education. So it's providing quality education. Educate a girl child, educate the nation. That's what people say. So all these impacts are all good. But to make this light really reach the last mile markets, when I talk about last mile, we're talking about communities which are far from the trading or urban centers, communities which are very difficult to reach because the infrastructure is so poor, it is so expensive, it's hard work. Antonio visited Malawi, I think, is it 2.5 years ago?
2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago, and she asked to go in the field and see it for herself. And I remember driving up the hills and the mountains to just meet some incredible female entrepreneurs. Long trip, but I think it was worth it. And so many communities are in that state. So for us to really reach them sustainably, efficiently, we needed to be very creative by creating sustainable networks within the communities, working with the local enthusiastic groups or individuals. So we developed a dedicated model focusing on women entrepreneurs who are already mobilized into the groups. We call them village savings and loan groups. So they are already aware about the need to save, to invest, to run a business, to get a small loan, and to service the loan. They have got that basic understanding. That's why we go for those groups. So we recruit them in the deep communities. We orient to them about the solar business. Well, the majority of them, they simply sell vegetables or, like cakes and all that stuff. So like a basic, normal, regular businesses. For us, we are simply adding on top of that a solar technology so they can provide more solutions. But we know that the cost of buying one light, it eats up the whole of their capital. So they need more capital if they are to invest and diversify their product range, adding in a solar technology. So those are some of the aspects. So the MyWala program basically is about a program that concentrates on women, mobilize them into business, into entrepreneurship, providing energy technologies. So as I mentioned, women work in groups, and that's also one thing that we really like, because by working with them in a group, you are talking to 20 people at once, who then goes out and spread the news to their friends and neighbors. So it quickly, reaches the majority in the community without a lot of effort and cost. So that's why it's really, really important to work with women. And also, we're giving women a proper business. There was a big study that was conducted by the central bank about the financial literacy in Malawi. The financial literacy generally is very, very low, but women is less than about 10% of the entire population that have some form of knowledge of financial literacy. That's how it is. So by working with them, we're not just providing business opportunity, but also an opportunity to learn, harness new knowledge on how to manage their finances. So it's about creating business opportunity, bringing dignity, and making women to be part and parcel, active contributors of the economic drive of the nation. Yes, we've talked about business, we've talked about all this boring stuff. We also love dancing. When we go out, we dance. We enjoy. Antonio, I think we danced together in Malawi when he visited, yeah? So for those of you who can, please, you can join us. Yeah? Richard, you want to dance? Yeah? Yeah?
Look, it's brave. You can hear him laugh.
Yeah, so those are the wraps that we also help them with to create visibility and all that. So they've got SunnyMoney branded wraps that they wear when they go and do their business. So talking about creating opportunity for women, let me share with you about Nancy. She's one of the most successful entrepreneurs that we have so far, from Nsanje, southern part of Malawi, boundary with Mozambique, one of the remotest and most difficult districts because it's so prone to natural disasters like cyclones, floods, and all that stuff. It's like a big valley, so it's really, really prone to floods. And because of the closeness to Mozambique, we always get the effects of cyclones that passes through Mozambique. So this district is, it's something else. But Nancy joined us for a long time ago. Her business met some challenges. This is Cyclone Freddy in 2023, where things got blown off, including her shop. At that time, she was in the middle of building her new shop. Unfortunately, it couldn't work out. But through support from different supporters, like yourself, we managed to work with her to rebuild her shop. This time around, we've got a much stronger, brighter, and a proper energy access hub. We have rebuilt the shop. We're using this shop not just to sell solar lights. It is now an operational hub even for our own teams. When we operate in this district, we operate from this shop. It is also a shop where the repair service happens. So if a product is broken or is out of life, customers can bring to her, the technician comes there, fix it, and it goes back to a customer. So this is what Richard mentioned earlier on, is about treating people as customers who deserve quality service and sustainable access. So this is the energy, we call it anti-Nancy Energy Access Hub in the community. Our dream is to have more of this. It's just one woman in Nsanje, but we have got a population of over 20 million people now in Malawi. It's big. We've got 28 districts. Our goal is every corner of the hardest to reach community in Malawi to have a localized energy access hub like this one, led, owned by a woman. To enable that, we need to have a formal way of managing the loans that we provide to these women, providing capital, business support, and all that. So in 2019, we established a dedicated unit which is focusing on supporting women to provide access to affordable loans. We call it FEBCO SACCO, which is a cooperative, a financing cooperative. It's a dedicated energy cooperative. It's the first of its kind in Malawi to have an energy cooperative. So all the loans that we collect through Lendwithcare, we manage them through FEBCO SACCO. It stands for Financing Energy Business Cooperative. And the SACCO is Savings and Credit Cooperative. So basically it is a cooperative where all the women become members and we manage their resources through that platform. So through there, we provide loans that enables the women entrepreneurs to buy those products and resell to their communities through the loans that we get from the platform. Then they repay back the loans through the same platform, which comes back to Lendwithcare, and then we go again. That's what it is. Our vision is to make sure that we have got more Nancies. This is Veronica. She's new into the game. She's in it. She wants to be very, very successful as an energy entrepreneur, and we're working on supporting her. We have got Violet Matemba, the one that Antonio met. She's very successful. She's running a number of businesses, selling vegetables. She has got a small restaurant. She has got a bicycle taxi business, and she has added on top of that a solar business. So as it is right now, together with her friends, they have already connected more than 700 homes with these solar home systems. So that's quite significant business we're talking about. And then Neria Beston, again another entrepreneur who is mostly providing baking. So she bakes different things and she sells. Mostly during the morning, of course, for breakfast, and in the evening for those who want to have a bit of a snack. We're talking of living a dream. Though I wanted to become a medical doctor myself, and maybe I can say I failed or I ran away. But my daughter, she's just finishing her course now. She was enrolled in the same college that I dropped. She's doing clinical medicine. She wants to be a surgeon. So it's a long journey. It's quite a long journey. So that's the transformation from being a volunteer to today general manager, standing in front of you, sharing my story. What simply reminds me is that if you've got a dream and you put your heart and mind in it, with proper support like you, we can make things happen. That's what it reminds me about. So this is the village during the day, and at night, what we want to see everywhere across Malawi is this. There's nothing to stop us to achieve that. Nothing. Since 2019, when we started working with Lendwithcare, we have demonstrated that we can do this. I remember having a first call with Nancy. It was mentioned that, but your loans and the structure, they're not really within what we normally do. But we need to think about it and see what we can do. But we've cracked that. And today we are celebrating the success. I believe in each one of us, there's that magic that we can put it together with a clear purpose, clear vision, clear goals, and the structured ways of working the way we're doing with Lendwithcare. The sky is the limit. It makes me sad. We're in this room, lovely lights. Right now, someone doesn't even know and can't see where to step, where to sleep. It's sad. But we're living in the same world, same earth. Let's challenge each other that this world should be a better place for everyone. Even if it means providing access to a basic light. Just very basic light, just a solar light. $50, $100. This is the cost lines we're talking about. Why should 500 million people still be in the dark? We're not talking about giving things out for free. No. We're talking about creating innovative solutions that challenges the status quo. Because if we don't do something today, no one will do it. No. So that's what keeps me out of bed every morning, waking up to say, even in one country, Malawi, let's demonstrate that we can actively contribute to making Malawi a better country for everyone. That can be an example for the world. So I believe that this collaboration will take us there. Through this collaboration, we will achieve that. If there are others out there who don't know about the work, the good work that you are doing with Lendwithcare, please invite them on the table, share with them, so that we can really mobilize a big force to combat this poverty. I do also know that to do this well, us who are on the ground, we must be honest with the resources. We must take full responsibility and be accountable to what has been entrusted on us. The resources must go where they are needed most, and we must work, and work really hard. But that's the only reason why we will continue supporting people like us. So I believe that through today's work, together, we'll go far. So thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for being part of this journey. Thank you very much for supporting Lendwithcare and supporting SolarAid. Thank you.